Getting your divorce judgment is your ultimate goal, but it is the last step. In fact, every divorce has 4 steps. 1. Starting your divorce. 2. Disclosing financial documents to your spouse. 3. Resolving issues to your divorce, division of property and debts, spousal support, and if you have children, child custody and child support. And finally, 4. Getting a divorce judgment. Now, if you understand the law and complete the steps in the right order, you will be able to successfully finish your divorce. You start your divorce by filing a petition in the family court in your county. I discuss these steps to completing these initial court papers in more detail in starting a divorce. Except for legal separation, in order to file for divorce in California, at least one of you needs to be a resident of California for the last 6 months and in your county for the last 3 months. If you have children, your children must have lived in California for the last 6 months for the court to have authority to make child custody orders in your case. The second step is to disclose all financial information to your spouse. Part of that disclosure will be completing the declaration of disclosure and exchanging them with your spouse at the start of your case and then again at the end, unless an exception applies. If you fail to complete these forms, you can't finish your divorce, and the court can penalize you for leaving something off your forms. After you have completed at least your first set of disclosures, the third step is to resolve your divorce issues: division of assets and debts, child custody, and child and spousal support. Your best option is always to negotiate an agreement with your spouse instead of going to court. You'll need to decide who will get which assets or be responsible for what debts. Assets and debts that you had prior to marriage or after you separate, or any gifts or inheritance, no matter when received, is separate property and goes 100% to the spouse. All other assets received or debts incurred during the marriage are community property and is divided between the spouses equally. I'll go over these rules as well as the options for division of assets in more detail in the course Dividing Property and Debts. If you have children, you must also decide on child custody. In California, children are considered adults when they turn 18 and graduate high school, or if they do not graduate high school, their 19th birthday. Until then, your children are included in child custody. Child custody is broken into 2 legal concepts: legal custody and physical custody. If you have minor children, you must include both, and I'll explain these in more detail in the course Child Custody. You'll also need to negotiate child support. If you have minor children, California does require that the guideline child support be paid in every case, unless an exception applies. Even if an exception applies, you must provide the guideline child support amount in your divorce papers or your divorce will be rejected. You can calculate the amount using a California-approved child support calculator that considers your income and the percentage of time you have with your children. All cases must also address spousal support. Spousal support, also called alimony, is a payment to provide financial support from the higher-earning spouse to the other spouse. The amount and length of time support will be paid depends on a number of factors, including your and your spouse's income, your standard of living during marriage, and how long you were married. You can also agree not to receive support, but must include that in your agreement. I'll explain spousal support and how it's calculated in the course Spousal Support. Once you've successfully negotiated an agreement, you are ready to submit your agreement to the court to obtain a divorce judgment. The last step. But if your spouse has refused to participate, instead of an agreement, you'll be submitting a proposed order. At this point, if you haven't reached an agreement, you have the option to proceed to trial to resolve those issues. Based on the evidence you present, the judge will decide the unresolved issues, and those decisions will become your divorce judgment. I'll explain these differences and how to submit your agreement in final agreements. Work through these steps with your spouse, and you'll save time, money, and avoid court. If your spouse isn't involved, your spouse might doubt the agreement is in their interest, and at the end, your spouse won't sign. If that happens, you might have to start all over. If you get stuck, or if your spouse is uncooperative, reach out to a divorce professional to help you create a divorce plan tailored to your needs, and one that takes cost, time, and effectiveness into consideration. You can also reach out to us at The Complete Divorce.